to the Roundtable. This is episode 66. We are your weekly live panel podcast and show on YouTube. We have a variety of guest co-host topics. You guys can tune in weekly. If you're new to the channel, we will have all new topics every week. And let's just kick this off and get this going. Welcome, Debbie. Good to see you. We've got Jesse Baca in the house. All right. And Debbie, you are always so good to be here, first in and last out normally. So shout out to you. All right, let's bring in the one and only Mrs. Chicano too.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's nice to have you back. It's been a minute.
I'm so excited to be back.
I know. And we have got the gentleman of the evening. It's always a surprise. Let's see. Who is it?
Hey, guys. Hey, good to see you guys. Hey, Jen. Hi, Christine. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you, too.
Yeah.
See you too.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody in our area is burning up anyway. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's warm today.
Yes.
It's a warm day, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Man. Cool. How you guys doing? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good here.
Everything's great.
Yeah.
Just warm, huh? Just warm. I'm like, oh.
We're all just warm. Yeah, let me get this.
It's like muggy, right? Do you guys feel like it's muggy?
It's like a real humid,
Humid.
But you know what? The nights are getting, you guys notice the nights are getting a little cooler? They're starting to get a little bit cooler now. You start to feel that kind of fall coming in a little bit.
Yeah.
I know it's a little early, but you could kind of feel it a little bit now. I'm like, wow.
Right.
I could feel it at nighttime. It feels good.
Yeah.
Yes.
But here in the 831, and the three of us are from the 831, we do know that we have Indian summer, which is the month of September.
Yes.
That's the hottest, right? So we better buckle up because that's barely starting for us.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be, once we're past September, I think we're safe to kind of relax.
Correct.
Right? Oh, yeah.
But let's get right into it with our weekly recap. And why don't you start out, Christine, and give us a rundown? How was your last week?
My weekend?
An exciting week or weekend?
Yes. So Friday night, my husband took me out to the sardine factory in Cannery Row, and it's so beautiful, and the food is so delicious. It's a delicacy. So it's a very, very wonderful restaurant downtown in Cannery Row in Monterey. So we had date night, and then Saturday we had Norby's over.
That's right.
Norby's. So we hosted Norby's on Saturday, which was really cool. I really like that guy. And Sunday, shout out to Norby's. And on Sunday we went to church and we chilled for the rest of the day. I cooked. It was pretty like a pretty nice quiet weekend. Chill, nothing crazy. But it was nice.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Okay. Very cool. Hey, big stop. All right, Fred, what about you?
Well, you know what? I went to an appointment. I had some, I won't say too much. It wasn't too much of good news, but it's fixable. So I guess that'll be cool. The other thing too. Oh, well, you know what? First and foremost, let me also shout out to Chicano, to Mikey, and to Christine as well. When we talked I talked to Mikey on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was invited to go. Unfortunately, I was busy. I had to take care of some things. Afterwards, Norby, called me and he said, "Hey, you want to meet up?" And I was just about done. I basically had the arc of what I was doing and stuff. And I said, I'll spare a couple of minutes. He's on his way home. He stopped by over here. We met up and I got to talk to him. So, shout out to Norby, shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Chicano Tube as well. Thank you guys so much. And
You're welcome.
yeah, man, it was great. it was great, man. It was good.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
You're
love that.
welcome.
You know, I'm trying to think now. Gosh, what was my week or weekend like? Because it
Yes,
was,
we want to know your weekend.
yeah, I know. What was it like? What did I do? Let's see. Well, my daughter, the one, well, two of them are pregnant, but the
Mhm.
one that just got the apartment, helped her get a few little things situated for their new place. So that was exciting. I got to help pitch in a little bit, you know, play mom and grandma with some of the stuff that they needed. So that was a blessing. And we found out the gender of my second grandbaby. So there's two boys that are on their way. My son, my daughter, and then my other daughter is having a girl. So two boys, one girl. Yeah,
Yay.
Nice.
I bet
Yeah.
right. That's a
Yeah.
pretty
Oh, cousins, huh?
pretty yeah.
Cousins.
I can
Hey.
only imagine the trouble they're going to be getting into together.
Around the same age group. They're like, wow.
That's
No, that's
awesome.
amazing. I know. I was thinking I'm going to need like a bench that rocks instead of a rocking chair, so I can have it right
Yeah.
I love it.
there. Thank you, and congrats to you.
And you did mention it, Jen, earlier when we were talking. You
Mhm.
mentioned the genders, and I said to you that I get jealous when I see women my age being grandmas because I can't wait to be a grandma. I look forward to that. So it's such a blessing.
Yeah.
Right, it is. It definitely is. I'm getting really excited. I can't wait to like just get my
Yeah.
hands on those babies. That's what I was gonna say. Spank. Shout out to you and Pearl. Congrats to you guys as well. Your son,
Oh,
Congratulations. Thanks.
nice. Congratulations, man. Yeah.
yeah, exciting. That is exciting. So other than that, I mean, everything else was just
Mhm. That's right.
well, whatever, just a kickback and nothing too exciting. Another one of my daughters went to a concert in Sacramento, so I was like, panicking until she got home. She's an adult, but still,
Yeah.
you know, Sacramento, I've heard some crazy stuff about, and she did tell me it was pretty wild out there. So glad she went home safely. She was with her tias, so luckily I did have that peace of mind. But glad she's home.
We don't stop being parents, though, Jen. No matter how old they get, we don't stop being parents.
Yeah,
That's
That's
just how it
right.
goes.
I know that is
That's
so
what
That's
it
true.
is.
right.
That is definitely
That's
the
what it
truth.
is. I call my son sometimes. I'm down the street. I'm like, okay, well, just be safe. 'Cause I'm like a block away. I'm like, I don't care. Be safe.
Yeah,
Just
I
depends.
don't know. I have this. I don't know. My daughter's put it on my phone, so I don't feel bad about it.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't feel bad about it anyways. Who am I kidding? I have that Life 360 where like I can see and they can see me too, like where
Mhm.
we're at. Even it can show you like the vehicle moving, how many miles per hour they're going,
Oh
the
wow.
battery on their
Jen,
phone.
I have it too. And it's wonderful. Don't you love that app?
Yes, I
I
do.
love it. And then not so long ago, my daughter, she was driving above 80 and it'll show you like the car's going like on fire, right?
Oh wow.
And so I immediately like called her and I said, "Why are you speeding?" And she goes, "I'm not speeding. You sure are, mijita. You were going above 80, so and my daughter, she's trying to be as independent as she can, but I mean, like you just said, we just never stop being parents.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I always tell my 19-year-old, because she is more independent, she's working, she's driving her own car, and she lives with my mom. She no longer lives with me.
Mm.
So I'm just always calling her, and the first thing I tell her when she's about to leave is drive safe. I'm always telling her to drive safe. Like
Yeah.
it's one of the things I always say, but that's the
Yeah.
part of being a parent. You just never stop. You're always concerned. You always want to make sure your kids are safe.
No,
Well,
yeah,
see,
definitely. Definitely. That's how it goes. I have,
That's
my son could be, he could say, I'm on my way home, It could be the middle of the night. I'll still be up until I hear him arrive. Then I can fall asleep. It's
Right.
just, it's just a thing. It's just a thing.
yeah, it is for sure.
But yeah.
Definitely. Well, let's jump right into our little celebrity news. Kind of been touching on celebrity topics just briefly. And Fred, you
Yeah.
mentioned earlier to me the passing of someone. I didn't recognize the name, but who is this celebrity?
Psycho Sid from the wrestling, from the old school wrestling stuff. I mean, the guy, I guess he was fighting, I don't guess. The fact is, he was fighting cancer. He was a big man, stood at 6'9". That's almost as tall as me. I'm a little bit taller, but anyway, kidding. I'm kidding. But anyways, but yeah, unfortunately, he passed. I don't remember too much about him. I mean, I remember, but it's a whole other situation.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, it's unfortunate because those people that know, like, I come from the era of Ric Flair, Barry Windham,
mhm,
uh, well, Hulk Hogan and all those, and God darn it, the Lex Luger and all these, Arn Anderson, all these wrestlers. Those people that know who I'm talking about. And yeah,
mhm.
Psycho Sid was one that of that time. So
Yeah,
unfortunately, he passed. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much about it. That's you know,
right.
yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah.
Definitely rest in peace to him. Another one that I saw I think just yesterday that was actually shocking, I'm sure, and very devastating for her was Mariah Carey's mother and sister on the same day, two separate incidents, you know what I mean, of death. It sounded
Yeah.
like her mother was probably ailing for some time. She mentioned she got to spend some time with her recently and felt blessed at that time with her mother, but without, saying what the cause was with her sister, she confirmed that her sister had passed, ironically and sadly, on the very same day as her mother.
Oh wow.
Yes,
So,
Oh
same
wow. Yeah. No.
day.
Yeah, I had heard about that a little bit, and I was like, wow. I mean, there's more to it. I'll bring help, but I'll let Christine touch on that if she wants to touch
yeah,
on that. No.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. And it was pretty interesting that her sister passed on the same day because I believe they were estranged, right? They were in non-talking terms,
right.
Mariah and her sister.
Mm.
So I know that they and her sister was also her mother's daughter. So they were both daughters of the same mother, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
father. So I did see that, and it's sad. I'm sure she's going through it.
Right. Yeah, she had a statement here. This is what she put out. She put, "My heart is broken that I've lost my mother this past weekend. Sadly, in a tragic turn of events, my sister lost her life on the same day." The Grammy winning singer 55 said, "I feel blessed. I was able to spend the last week with my mom before she passed. I appreciate everyone's love and support and respect for her privacy."
Mm.
No other details were included. Said that her mother, Patricia, was previously married to Alfred Roy Carey, who was the father of Mariah and her two other siblings, Allison and Morgan. So her
Mm.
parents divorced when she was just 3 years old. But yeah, that's just crazy to hear that happened.
Yeah. You know what? I think one of the saddest things on that note, just like Christine brought up right now, or was it Christine? Yeah, that they weren't talking. Her and her sister weren't talking.
Right.
That's got to be devastating, even more. I mean, I don't think that's cool. I mean, I don't care who you are, how much money you have, whatever. That's got to be like one of the hardest things to have to live through for the rest of your life. You know.
It is because I also had read that like her sister was on Social Security. She was actually fighting um to like so they can pay her a little more. She was like at 700 something dollars a month in New York. How do you live like that, you know?
Yeah.
And she has one of the richest and most famous singers in the planet. And it just can happen to any family, so it's pretty
It's
sad.
really, it is sad, and
Man.
it sounds like there was, like any family, I guess, there were issues between Mariah and her mom at some point as well, but they were able to sort of smooth things out and come back together towards the end. And she even had, I guess, in her book that she wrote, had dedicated the book to her mom and mentioned overcoming difficult times.
Right.
But the sister, I remember, I mean, don't mark my definite, every word, but I think there was an issue a few years back where her sister tried to possibly sell some stories about Mariah to some tabloids. Um, and
Really?
that was, I guess the straw that broke the camel's back. You know what I mean? As far as
Uh-huh.
them separating and not speaking, because obviously she felt betrayed. Her sister had some. I mean, that would be it would be a little devastating to think that your family would go to the media and sell stories about your personal life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, sometimes everybody kind of wants that, that time to shine or those 15 minutes,
I think
yeah,
her
which is
sister
like,
had a drug problem.
oh,
Um mhm.
yeah, it makes
And she
sense.
tried to sue. I think in 2020 is when Mariah released a book
Uh-huh.
on her life story, a autobiography, and her sister tried suing her in 2020 because Mariah mentioned that her sister tried to get her on drugs, try to get her to be a prostitute and have like a what do you call those guys that
like a
own you and you have to pay them? What is it called?
Uh,
PIM.
Jit- uh, Jitlu?
Yeah.
No? Yeah.
Wow.
Like
Is that
a pimp, right? Or something like that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
wow?
So Mariah mentioned that in her book, they were already in non-talking terms, and her sister tried to sue her. I don't think she won, but I mean, there's a lot of problems there.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it's sad, and like like you had mentioned, that it's it's sad that it happened that way, and it's also like it's something for all of us to reflect on as far as when we're at odds with a family member, because you just never know.
Yeah.
And
You know what?
sometimes,
Taking it on a different angle, guys. Um,
mhm.
um, Brando on the
Marlon
Rodin
Brando.
Radio. Yeah, on Rodin Radio with Tony A had brought up that celebrities or sometimes high end celebrities, their families are sacrificed and stuff. Uh, I mean, this is kind of taking a different angle. I mean,
It's kind
we're,
of
we're
what other people, I mean, I know where you're coming from because I
yeah,
actually believe that. But
yeah,
for the normies, they would think we're conspiracy theorists for saying,
yeah,
believing anything like that. But I do
exactly.
believe that because, in order to reach a level of richness and a level of fame, you got to sell yourself. And a
Yeah,
lot goes with that. There's a big price to pay.
definitely.
Um, and when you think there's so many people out there with amazing talent, but they
Yeah,
just cannot reach that level of fame or money or that support is because they're not willing to sell themselves. They don't want
yeah,
to, so they will
yeah,
not. I mean, who owns these record industry, all these companies, they're I don't know if you guys ever heard of like Zionist and stuff like that. These are very, very powerful people
yeah,
that are anything but godly. They're ungodly
yeah,
and they'll make you do the most nastiest things. And but a lot of people don't believe that. And
yeah.
ever since I woke up from that, I used to worship celebrities. I was one of those that, oh my gosh, like I used to be a big fan of J Lo, for example.
Mhm.
And I started waking up and I realized, okay, in order for J Lo to become J Lo, that girl did some things.
Yeah, she
And
has to.
she did. And I know
Yeah,
that now. So and it's so interesting because my eyes started opening up. And now when I see these celebrities, I just I feel bad for them because they've lost their soul. And then they're trying to sell an agenda. And then you'll see them promoting certain politicians, and they're all in the same club. They're all in the
yeah,
same club, and I feel bad for them. And I also think like, well, who are you? You're living in a beautiful. They live in mansions, and they're telling us who to vote for. You
yeah,
know, I don't go for
yeah.
that. So, but
Right.
yeah,
Mhm.
I've heard of that. What they have to do, their sacrifices, and right now I just read a comment
Mhm.
by Cultura,
Oh yeah,
Cultura Cafe. He mentioned about J Lo and Ben Affleck just split up. He said they say Ben found out some stuff about J Lo from Diddy's confiscated files from the FBI. I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt there's some dirty laundry there, because
yeah,
obviously I
yeah.
think we all know Diddy is something, right? He's
Oh no, yeah.
hmm
I think they've been saying I think next month he'll probably be
We're
placed
gonna
under
find out
arrest.
more stuff.
Yeah, they'll place him under arrest after by next month and stuff. That's what they're saying.
Oh,
So
Yeah,
really?
and I
you
don't know
know,
if you know the ridiculous that like have you guys seen everything going on with J Lo? Like this year has been a very bad year for her.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Um, they say that it's sort of like the ritual. They'll like humiliate you. Like you have to go through these rituals. It's so weird. So
I've
it's
heard about
totally not worth selling your soul for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
all right, oh yeah,
They do it for riches and everything. But at the end of the day, they have to pay a big price for that. So it's not worth it.
yeah. I couldn't hurt any family member for any price. You
right.
know,
That's just
yeah, I
crazy.
could. I just can't. I mean, that's not that would
Absolutely not. No, even
that
if you don't
would
like your relative, like no,
yeah,
like
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Even if you're not talking to them, you know what they also state is that sorry guys, man, this cough. I'm fine before we go on, and then after that, it's like
right.
oh,
Why
um,
does that happen? Telling
what happens too, guys, is that they show like for example DMX, right? He had a drug problem and stuff like that. At least that's what was shown. There was footage of him going to court. And for years it continues, it continues.
you.
And then it's also said that they sometimes it's excuse me, darn, sometimes it's a way to set them up. So
Yeah.
when when their life is gone at that point, the public, the fans, it's not
Yeah.
surprising. It's just kind of oh well, I saw that coming. But it's a setup. It's a way for us to kind of just you know
To make
just
it believable, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yes. So I think that's sad. I mean, I think that's pretty sad to have to go through that. I mean,
have you guys heard of how they like just they'll like let them go into levels, right? So obviously someone like J-Lo is at a very, very high level,
hmm
right? And the higher the level, the more crazy things you have to do. And what these elites do, these people that pull the strings, what they do is they'll blackmail you. They'll record you doing the most nastiest things
yeah,
imaginable and have blackmail on you. So you can never turn on them. It's
Can you
crazy. It's a
imagine?
crazy world.
no,
So
yeah, it
I
is.
believe all that. I believe all that. So
Yeah.
call me a
Look at
conspiracy theorist. I don't care. I believe in it.
Yeah, no, you know what?
right.
Yeah, well, go
This
ahead.
comment,
Uh-huh.
LAT Houston says, what could J Lo have done that would actually make Affleck leave her so many years later, or must be really bad. I mean, yeah, because they were going to get married years back, and then I think
Yeah,
the day up or the day before he backed out, and then
yeah,
they have what? Just how long have they been together? Not very long, right? This last
This
marriage.
last time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she filed for a divorce on the day of their second year wedding anniversary.
Wow. And then
well,
I
Yeah.
believe
So
this is her
she,
fourth or fifth
yeah,
divorce.
fourth
yes,
wedding, and she'd been engaged 5 times, right? She didn't marry A
yeah,
Rod. Remember, they were engaged and they were
Oh,
supposed to
that's
get
right.
yeah,
married.
yeah. She was
Um,
with Mark Anthony.
can you guys tell? Um, I could tell that Ben Affleck was miserable. He was not happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I could
I remember.
see it. It was like he looked every time they were together in public, he looked tired. He looked like he didn't want to be there. He looked like I don't know, he just looked miserable. And then the times when it was like behind the scenes, like when they're out and about, just a regular random day. Did you guys ever see when he walked her to the door of the car and then he just slammed the door?
Yes,
Did you guys
I
ever see
saw
that?
that.
no, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, like it was just I don't know, it was so strange. Like that's not especially when you're a newlywed, the first 2 years of marriage is considered the honeymoon stage, right?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Um, you don't act that way. So it's just very strange the way he was acting. But again, these celebrities, I don't think I don't know. I just think everything's set up. Everything's like they're in the same club. I think they sell their souls. So
yeah. Well,
You
you
know, there
know, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
there's a few different sort of online pastors or things like that that I watch, right?
Uh-huh.
And this guy is out of New York, Puerto Rican, and so he's tied into that community, right? So
Mhm.
he alleges and he gives detailed information. He came out of a very dark past where he was involved in, different types of witchcraft and very dark things like that. I just, yeah, rebuke all that in Jesus' name. But he said that
Yeah.
he says that J Lo was involved in that sort of thing, and that he even said that she's actually his words that
Mhm.
she's a witch and she does all sorts of stuff like that. Let me bring Christine back up.
Well, okay.
So
Oh,
there
there
that's
I
you
it.
go.
am.
There
All
you are.
right.
Um,
Yeah, yeah. J
I
Lo
believe
thinks.
that. I believe all that. I mean, it's when you look at people like Ice Cube, for that matter, he's come out and said it because he's not part of the club, and then they've pretty much held on to the business thing that he can't make another Friday. You know,
Is
and
that right?
a lot of those people have already passed as well. I mean, I don't think they should anymore at this point, but just the fact that everybody already
Yeah.
passed and he can't obtain the rights back to his movie, it's like it just shows you that there's levels in celebrities,
And
that
have you seen his latest interviews when he's talking Ice Cube? He almost talks in code. He doesn't want to say too
yeah,
much, but he'll
yes,
say things like there's a club. Like, like
mhm,
little things he puts
yeah,
out there. And I could totally read between his word and
yeah,
his words that he's saying. And
yes,
obviously he doesn't say too much, right? Because if you
yeah,
say too
yeah,
much, next thing you know, someone committed suicide, right?
yeah, yeah,
you get you get Clintonized
Yeah.
yeah,
if
Yeah.
you talk too much,
mhm,
so I mean, but he says little things here and there, and people gotta pay attention to
yeah,
what they're saying. And
definitely,
so yeah, like I said, I used to worship celebrities, not anymore. I don't care for them. I mean, I
yeah,
admire their talents. That doesn't take away what God gave them. A lot of these people have
yeah,
amazing talent, amazing voices to sing, and
mhm,
the ability to make people laugh. And it's a God given talent, but they choose to go dark.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
This is
I can never understand that thing. I think it's you reach a certain part. It's
yeah.
like kind of the syndrome of there's more where that came from. If you go from not having much to you eating lobster every day now, steaks and shrimp. I'm just saying that as as an example. But then they say, hey, well, this is gonna run out unless you do this. So you're pretty much cornered now because you don't want to lose that. And then
Right.
people kind of tend to follow into that. I mean, it's just, because you've seen people, like Christine said earlier, they come in, they make these movies or albums or whatever, and then they kind of just fall off the face of the earth. You don't see them as much. They just fall off. They're not working as much. They just kind of, that's it.
Right, right. Yeah, that's true. Cultura. Don't you guys feel like that? I don't know. I feel like that's so true. After Cat Williams did that interview on
Hmm.
Club Shade Day and outed so many celebrities and their scandals, I feel like they've just been falling off one by one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you know what? I think everybody knew that. He just confirmed it, you know, and
Mhm.
everybody just,
Yeah,
ran with it. But
right.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty
that was pretty much
interesting.
it.
That was the
Yeah, I
name
did
of the
see Cat
chapter.
Williams as well. Hmm.
Darn. Kanye West as well. He's come out and said stuff.
Yeah, and then
Early on.
then he gets, what do they call it? Something ultra. What do they call it? I know you know that, Fred.
MK,
Um,
right? MK Ultra, is that what they call it?
MC Ultra. What is it called? MK Ultra.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
I don't know what it
So
is.
he'll come out and say a bunch of stuff, and
Yeah.
then he disappears, and then he's like another person. They MK Ultra him for
It's like
yeah,
sure.
somebody
yeah,
pushed a reset button on
Yeah,
yeah.
right?
they do something. They wire them in their brain and they brainwash them. I don't know what they do.
Because
I
he's
believe
come
in
out
all
and said,
that, like for sure.
because he's come out and said it publicly. And I spoke about this on my channel too, though. But he spoke about this because he said that the his I don't know if it was his manager or somebody that texted him and said, "Hey, you need to come over and we need to talk. And if you don't, basically, if you don't shut up, I'll put you in a mental institution and make sure you don't, nobody
Right.
ever hears from you again." Hence, goes back to when you think of Heath Ledger, Prince, you know, uh, even Richard Simmons for that matter, or people that just drop out of the blue. I mean, look what happened to Jamie Foxx a couple of last year.
Yeah, that
Stuff
was
like that. I mean, you start to think, and I'm with Christine on this. I mean, yeah, sometimes when we're talking like this, it can be like, oh, yeah, a conspiracy, but it's kind of hard to ignore when you see it
Hmm.
happening. Like,
Right, like with like you just mentioned Prince. Prince was saying things too,
yeah.
yeah,
and he's gone.
yeah,
Michael Jackson was saying
uh,
things.
that's the other one. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and you think about it like like even going back to P Diddy, Kim Porter dropping out of the blue, like that's it. Heavy D also passing away. All these people just kind of fell out of. They just they passed, and we
Yeah.
accept it. We just like, oh, okay, well, what did he have? Well, he had a walking pneumonia. Really? And we buy that. We buy it, and we oh, okay, well, that's
Yeah.
it. It's you know,
It's very
it's
interesting. And I noticed you brought up Kanye West, right? So
uh,
I'm even like I'm on the edge sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, I think that's true, or I believe in that, and I'll pull back and be like, I don't know. But something I noticed with Kanye West is if they did do that to him, it makes a lot of sense because I used to think like, yeah, he's he's definitely like on to something. He's facts,
yeah,
right? And then he would do something kind of kooky, and it would draw my belief in whatever he said back. Like, okay, what is he on? Like, he sounds
yeah,
like he's off his rocker, and then he would make sense again. But
yeah.
that would be the perfect
Was
way to
just
just
like the boxer, right? Garcia, the
Oh
young
yeah,
guy.
that's another one.
yes,
Yeah,
He has said the craziest things, and then later on he'll make a video and he's acting like he was like drugged or something, right?
yeah,
But
yes,
that boy has thrown some truth bombs.
Yeah,
And I was scared for his life, but then later on they try to make him like, oh, he was all drugged up and he was just speaking nonsense. They'll make you look like you're crazy.
yeah. No, yeah, they will. You know what? And I think too that also when somebody's speaking the truth, and you know what, and it happens in real life too. Really, to all of us. Let's just say, for example, at a job sometimes,
Uh-huh.
they're the employees getting done wrong. Let's just put it that way, right? And there's always a crowd of people saying, "Oh yeah, we should speak up. We should speak up." There's always one that rallies, rallies the troops.
Yeah.
And then when it comes time to go, to go forward with it, like, okay, yeah, I'm down with you. Let's go. And you go and you speak, and then you expect this person, that rallied you up. They turn around, "Oh, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Now you look like an idiot. It just, and they do that. Basically, somebody's saying the truth, and oh, shut up. Oh, he's crazy, or she's crazy, or whatever the case is, and we accept that, and then everybody kind of laughs it off and ignores the fact that maybe that person was telling the truth.
Well, same
As
with Ryan
in,
Garcia. He kept saying, I don't know if you remember, he was saying something,
uh-huh,
I'm not suicidal. I'm not he kept saying it because he
yeah,
knows. But
yeah,
then what they'll do, okay, I'm gonna go after your kids. I'll go
yeah,
after your mom. So, sometimes you don't have fear to like, I'll give my life for this. Like, I don't care. I'm not gonna see. I mean, he was saying some crazy things. He was saying that children were being raped in front of him.
yeah,
Did
That,
you guys hear the whole thing he said?
yes.
They
That
were being raped and murdered. And he talked about that. Now, I had heard about that from years ago. People like Alex Jones have been talking about that for many years. So,
mhm,
I started to believe that that was true. And when I heard Ryan say it, I don't know, something in me just, you should have seen it in his eyes. I really believed him.
yeah,
And then a
yeah,
few days later, he talked about it for like 2 days, and then all of a sudden he went quiet and he came back. Not going to talk about anything but boxing. And then later on, he said that forget about everything he said. But I think what they do, and during those videos that he was making, he kept saying he was not suicidal. But then they'll come to you and be like, "All right, well, your baby's gonna die," or something like that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And then they're like, "Oh shoot!" Like they get scared for their loved ones.
yeah. Of
that's
course, and
wild.
that's a manipulation. You're pretty much putting a scare tactic on them.
Right.
You
Yes.
will
Right.
have to oblige by whatever you want now. It's blackmail. It's blackmail. They're
Blackmail,
just doing it.
yes.
That's
Yes.
not cool.
It's cool. It's
Yeah, it's,
scary.
it's well, very scary. It's very scary. That's and it continues to happen. But I think due to the internet, and people are waking up, and seeing a lot of this, a lot of this stuff now, where it's not being ignored anymore. Because like as well, Christine, even back then, before the internet and all, we used to worship celebrities. We knew nothing about them at
Right.
all.
Right.
Now
Yeah.
it's like it's all out there, and I mean, the moment they, I mean, for lack of a better idea, the moment they go to the restroom, we know about it. I mean,
Right.
it could be gay. It's right there. Which
Yeah.
hence goes back to how far we've moved along. Being that we live over here in California. And I'll follow me on this. Where I'm going with, way back in the day, people used to say, "Oh, the music and movies and so on and so forth. Oh, it comes out in LA first." Yeah, that's another one. It comes out in LA first. Everything happens in LA first. And it did. It did. That's not taking nothing away. It did. Places like New York, Los Angeles, and then we slowly it trickled up California, and we got it. And I kind of freak out when people still do that today. People go, "Oh, well, it came out in LA first." It's like, what year are you living in, dude? Like, right now, everything it comes out everywhere due to the internet. Everything's fast. Boom, an album comes out. It doesn't matter where you at in the world, you get it. It's
Yeah.
that fast. We're no
It's
longer
crazy right
living in
now.
a
I'm reading comments. It's all and for a lot of people it's because they've been so programmed they don't want to believe it, right?
Yeah,
They've been
yeah,
so programmed all their lives, and they're in a
exactly.
program, what some people call the matrix.
Yes,
You're in a program and you don't even know it. You're in a movie and you're being controlled, right?
yeah, yeah. Like the
Do
Truman
you
Show.
guys remember just because ever since 2020, everything's been happening so fast that we kind of forget what happened a month ago. That's the kind of world we're living in right now. A month
Yeah,
ago was what in the 80s and 90s was years, you know? A month
yeah.
now was like 30 years ago, it would feel like two
So
years, but that's just a month. That's how life is right now because of the
definitely.
internet and all the stuff they're hammering us with. But let's
Yeah.
just not go too far. Let's just go 4 years ago, 2020.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you guys remember? I would see this and I couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe the people. I was more afraid and upset with the people that everybody was so scared of COVID and everybody was like, 6 feet away. They were with their diapers
Hmm.
and you're killing people. I mean, they were so mean. And then I would watch stuff like those night shows, those late night shows,
Yeah.
and they would have like they would record videos at the hospitals and all these nurses dancing, doing these crazy things
Oh yeah.
with the vaccine, with the whole COVID thing. It was like they were just in our face mocking us,
Yeah, playing in
Yeah.
our face. That was
Yeah.
in
crazy.
our
That
face.
Yeah.
And I was like, do people not see that? Now, Fauci, he's come out and admitted that the mask didn't work, the social distancing didn't work. And so can you imagine people like me? I was totally against me wearing a diaper on my face for 2 years.
Mhm.
Okay. And I got told everything you can imagine. Okay. And so we lost a lot of our freedoms. A lot of people lost their businesses. And where's the apology? Like, there is no apology because these people are straight up evil and they're just making fun of us. They treat us like,
Yeah.
like we're sheep. So,
people. Yeah.
I mean, again, like it's just a program. People are just being bombarded with programming. And I don't
Yeah.
watch the news at all. I consider myself a conservative, but I don't even watch Fox News. I don't because I do believe everything, they're all like part of it, the whole thing. There's an agenda to divide us. And I go by my gut. I go by the people. I go by seeing people's own video. I believe that citizens, we're the new journalists. We're the new
Yeah.
reporters, you know?
Yes.
No, I think we
Yes.
definitely are. And
You
sharing,
did.
even what we're doing right now. I mean, we're
Yeah.
we're citizens, right? We're having a conversation. We're sharing
Mhm.
here things we believe, our opinions, and like
Yeah.
for example, we're going to jump into some political topics next, and
Mhm.
just to let everybody know, like I have invited people on to share their beliefs that are leaning more liberal, like ways as well. I don't know if that's the correct word. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But
Mhm.
nobody
Like
has
their
ex-
ideology leans more
this
liberal,
is
left.
I'm
Uh-huh.
open to. I don't want anyone to think that this is a one sided panel. Like we're open to hear everybody's beliefs, but so
Yeah.
far he's taken me up on it. So with that said, we're gonna start to hear about some of the things that have happened this last week. Christine, it's been a busy week with
Yes, this week was a crazy week. Since Friday, right, to now. I mean, like I just said, since 2020, I feel like we're just bombarded with stuff every single day. And every single week, there's something new
Yeah.
on a daily. But I do believe great things happened for Trump the past week,
Mhm.
starting with no other than Robert Kennedy's endorsement, I think was flat out amazing. Um, Anyone that has not watched that speech that Robert Kennedy did on Friday. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's on a lot of social media platforms. Absolutely free, it's out there. And for those of you that don't know, Robert Kennedy was the nephew of John F. Kennedy, one of the
Mhm.
greatest presidents of the 20th century,
Yeah.
and who was assassinated, by the way.
Mhm.
Um, a family of Democrats. His father, also a great politician, Democrats, and he was a Democrat up until October 2023, and he became an independent.
Mhm.
I highly recommend everybody would watch that speech. Now, I've been following Robert Kennedy for many, many years
Mhm.
because I'm all about freedom of health. And I agree, I always agreed with him when it came down to like those freedoms that he speaks a lot about. So I did have a hard time like not knowing, like, shoot, like I like Kennedy, but I definitely love Trump's policy. So it was very hard for me to be like, if I go independent, I don't, I don't know if Kennedy will win, you know?
Yeah.
So I was having a hard time with that. So he totally let go of the race because he knew that those people that are right down the middle that don't know, are leaning to vote for him in the swing states. He would end up hurting Trump more than Kamala.
Mhm.
So I think he did the right thing, and him and Trump are, now working together. I love everything that he's bringing to the table for Trump. He's all about freedom of health.
Mhm.
He said some amazing things that I've been I've been learning this for the past 20 years on because I have a condition, I have an autoimmune disorder. I have PCOS and Hashimoto's. And I've always been very intrigued to knowing why I got this, right? And why so many women in this day and age have PCOS and Hashimoto's. He talks a lot about autism. Why is it that 70% of our country right now it's either overweight or obese? He
Yeah.
was talking about 100 years ago, if a child in a school was obese, they would study that kid. It was so rare that they would study him, the baby, the child, because it was rare. And now 70% of the population is big. But he talked, what is it? It's in the food, it's the chemicals, it's the environment. The food is causing autoimmune disorder. People are not
Mhm.
able to, like, people are eating almost the same things they were eating 50 years ago, except now these foods are filled with pesticides and chemicals that are causing metabolic disorder. They're
Mhm.
causing insulin resistance. And so he started talking about things that I've been very interested in for the past 20 years that I've been learning, and he's bringing that to the table. Yesterday Trump made a short speech and he talked about that, where they want to investigate, if he comes in, the FDA, because the FDA is in charge of our food. And I'm finally seeing, like, okay, them together, teaming up together is going to be an amazing thing for our country when it comes to health.
Yes.
And I'm very excited about that. I was very, very happy to see that. And so I would love for anybody that hates Trump, just watch Kennedy's speech last Friday and
Mhm.
see someone that all his life was a Democrat, the nephew
Mhm.
of John F. Kennedy, okay? The president that got assassinated, okay?
Mhm.
Listen to why he became an independent, why he let go of the Democratic Party. Okay. Listen to him. And I urge people to do that. Just get off your feelings and listen to him. That was
Yeah.
amazing. That was on Friday. I don't know if you guys saw the speech. It was, to me,
Mhm.
one of the greatest speeches I've heard in years.
I'm about halfway through it. I had to pause to go live, but I'm gonna finish it when we're done.
What did
I
you think of the first half?
I was really struck by his honesty and candidness. I his family, like you said, is notorious, known, for being, I mean, that name, Kennedy, speaks volumes, right, for the Democratic Party. So for
Yeah.
him to make the statement that he made about parting ways, and you guys, I'm all new to this political stuff. Doesn't matter one way or the other. I know who he is because of his last name mostly, and recently because he was also throwing his name in the hat for the presidency for a while there. But
Yeah.
I think that I think it spoke volumes for him to say that he was making a decision to support Trump. The way he did it was, I just do it like in a way where he was being vicious and like saying nasty things about one or the other. He seemed like he was really stating things matter of fact, in my opinion, is what it sounded like. Now, I'm not through with the entire speech yet. That's what I've taken from it so far.
I
Fred,
haven't had
did
a
you
chance
watch
to watch
the
it.
speech or you didn't?
I haven't watched it, but I will watch it tonight
It's
after this.
amazing.
I'm
I
gonna have to see
recommend
that.
everybody to watch it.
You
I
know what?
mean, I wanted to record it because I'm like, I hope they don't, remove it,
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I just thought it was amazing. As a matter of fact, I would love to do a reaction to like a whole reaction. I think it was like 30 minutes, the whole
Mhm.
speech, and do a
That one.
reaction. I think that would be great. Pause every time. He did state that he tried to meet up with Kamala and Biden and
Mhm.
they shut doors. They were like, nope. And the minute
Mhm.
he talked to Trump and they met up, and he said, I don't agree with everything. He doesn't agree with everything that Trump's policies, but he did say he agrees with the most important policies.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. And and that's the beauty of being human. We don't have to agree in everything, right? We all have our ways of thinking,
Okay.
but on important matters, things that really matter for the people, they
Mhm.
agreed. And so I'm really, really excited about them teaming up. The other one that just teamed up and she left the Democratic Party, she was a congresswoman in Hawaii, was Tulsi. And that was yesterday. She stated that, well, now she's independent, but she completely 100% endorsed Trump. I was really excited about that too. And these are people that were Democrats forever. Again, Kennedy, born Democrat. And if you listen to their testimonies, these are people that, why did they switch? Something happened there, right?
Mhm.
Um, so I was very excited to see that. Today, something amazing, crazy happened, and it's something that I always knew, but I was really upset in 2020. But Mark Zuckerberg just released a statement in writing that in 2020 he was being pressured by Kamala and Biden in 2020, 2021 to
Mhm.
suppress information on COVID and also
Oh.
election interference. He didn't say it that way, but obviously we know that's that way. Um, Remember when the Hunter laptop scandal happened in
Yes.
2020? It was about a
Yes.
month before the elections. They
Uh-huh.
completely censored it, suppressed it, and now he says he regrets it. The public deserved to see what was in there. Well, what do I think? I don't know why he's speaking now. He could be scared that the truth is coming out. But I do believe, well, Mark, 4 years too late, something that I knew. I was being
Uh-huh.
censored every time I would try to put out information on what was on that laptop. I got censored. I got the 30-day ban on Facebook. So they really did election interference there. And he actually admitted it today and he put out a letter. So I think all these things are, I don't know, it's crazy. It's pretty epic what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just crazy, but it's crazy, exciting times we're living in. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
well,
You know what? Go ahead, Tim. And then I'll do my
I mean,
piece after.
I just saw the headline. I didn't get a chance to read too much, but when it said that Zuckerberg had stated what did it say? He felt pressured censored
Yeah,
or
so he said that the Biden administration was on his case, and he just listened to them. He pretty much felt pressured, and I mean, you guys should. It's out there. It's public.
yeah,
Um, so
definitely.
it's pretty crazy what's going on. Two major lifelong Democrats just switched. I mean, Kennedy was running for president as an independent, and he
Uh-huh.
completely endorsed Trump. His own family, some of his family is against him. Obviously, they're establishment. I could tell when someone
Uh-huh.
is establishment.
Okay.
But to go against that grain, that's pretty amazing. And everything he said, I mean, everything he's always said makes sense.
Yeah.
When he talks about the food, when he talks about vaccines, everything he says absolutely makes sense. And he
Yeah.
started his new uh hashtag, like the MAGA movement, the Make
Oh, yeah.
America Great Again. He started his hashtag Make America Healthy Again.
Okay.
And Jen knows me personally. Jen, I'm a holistic queen. I'm all about curing, like, all about, okay, get rid of all the toxins to be healthy. So I'm big
Mhm.
on that. And to be honest with you, that was my journey. It started about 20 years ago. And I started opening my eyes to the corruption in the food industry and the pharmaceutical industry. And I started questioning absolutely everything. And up until 2020, I voted Democrat all my life because I was told by my
Mhm.
father, as a Mexican American, I had to vote Democrat. And it was
Mhm.
not until 2020, after years and years of always questioning the FDA and pharmaceutical industries, the Western medical medicine, I started questioning the political stuff, and one thing that made me switch was the lives. I would watch 2020 the COVID live press conferences. I would watch
Mhm.
Trump do a whole live, and 5 minutes later, all the headlines on CNN, ABC were completely distorted live. And that's when I realized that I started doing a lot of research. That's
Yeah.
what I did. I researched, and
Yeah.
I snapped out of it, just like Kennedy. And so, prove me wrong. And for those of you that are voting for Kamala, I got one for you. Without you mentioning Trump, and without you mentioning gender, and without you mentioning her race, give me some policies. Give me the policies why I should vote for her. Make me change my mind. Without mentioning
Mhm.
Trump, without mentioning gender, and without mentioning her race. I challenge anyone to change my mind.
Oh yeah. You know what, guys?
good
Speaking,
question.
and you know what? I'll contact you after the show, Christine.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, I'll contact you because you said something right now about the speech and stuff like that, or the yeah the speech. I'll contact you and then I'll fill you in on some information. Uh, I'll leave it at that. I don't want to say it out here on the internet, But
Okay, yeah,
but
sure. I mean, Fred, I know you're very smart. The times we've
thank
talked,
you.
I like the stuff you say, and
No, thank
you
you.
know what? I'm open to people that just question. Like, if you're questioning things, I'm open to that.
Yeah.
Um, Again, I'm very excited about everything that happened this week. Again, Mark Zuckerberg today.
Hmm.
Yesterday was, a lot of people don't know this, but yesterday was 3 years. Do you guys remember the pullout in 2021 when Biden ordered our troops to leave Afghanistan?
Well, yeah.
Okay,
I remember.
so, and they just left a bunch of equipment there, and they left chaos, right? And they left
Yeah.
13 American soldiers there that were tortured and killed. And so yesterday was 3 years since the passing of these troops, these American soldiers. And
Mhm.
did you hear anything from Biden or Kamala? No, they
No,
don't care, and they don't
nothing.
even want to bring it up. They don't want to bring it up. So I just want to make people aware. Yesterday was 3 years since 13 American
Uh,
soldiers passed away, and yeah, the media is quiet. It's not convenient for them to talk about what the president did to them,
yeah,
how he just like left them like that. So
Yeah,
just want to bring it up, make people aware. And these
yeah,
are people that are putting their lives out there for us, for our freedom.
yeah. No, yeah. You know,
it's sad.
there's you guys mentioned something too about the food and stuff, right? Okay, this can this is gonna sound weird coming from a fat guy, but I'm gonna say it.
No,
Um,
tell us.
one day I was eating a little bit of vanilla ice cream, right? It's cool, it's whatever. And for a split second, I don't know what it was in there. Like I don't know what happened, but it tasted back to where how vanilla ice cream used to taste when I was a kid.
Mm.
And I was like, what the heck? And I continued to try to, again, being the fat guy, right? I mean, not out of the box, I just was in a bowl. But I was like, I can never find it again. If you go buy cereal, if you buy the name brand cereal, and you buy the knockoff brand in the bag, they taste the same. The food does not taste the same anymore.
Mm-mm.
Everything tastes different. Just the other day too. I went over to the store. I bought, I think, two heads of lettuce, two loaves of bread, a pack of ground beef, pork chops, some steaks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was it. Then there was a couple of other things. I went up to pay for $101. I was like, "What the? Are you serious?
Yeah.
$101?" And I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" It's
Me.
it's wild what's
It
happening.
is.
And I was talking to this other gentleman there who, and I'm not basing it on race or color or anything. He happened to be Caucasian. And I think as Americans, it doesn't matter whatever race, whatever the case may be. It's either you're with it or against it at the end of the day. And as Americans, I don't understand how we are so divided unless these people like paying these high prices for stuff that's just outrageous. We can't even afford it no more. I mean, that's one thing I don't understand. That's just my political stance on it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. I'll tell you that I'm very tired of it. And then one thing I do mention, going back to all that, is that Trump has come out and said it straight up. He said these people can't afford it, can't afford food anymore. They can't afford this, they can't afford that. Um, and I think the American public, a lot of us, are just tired of it. They just plainly tired of it. We've been this is ridiculous. We can't even nothing's affordable anymore. I mean, it's sad.
That
I
Do
is
you
don't
guys
understand how
remember?
people.
Do you guys remember when making $25 an hour was the greatest thing ever?
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
what does that bring you?
Wow.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No,
It's just
nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
sad.
The thing about the food and stuff like that, have you guys ever heard? I mean, I've heard bits and pieces about this, but I know that like there's certain foods that are not even legal to be consumed, or they're not sold, I should say, in other countries that are sold here. Like
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
certain
for
foods.
example, you're right on that. For example, say Kellogg's Foster Flakes here in the
uh,
United States, and they sell it in Europe. In Europe, they don't add a bunch of those ingredients that are in here that are
yeah.
okay here. Starting with the amount of sugar and a bunch of chemicals they add into it. And in Europe, it's banned. And I was watching this guy, I forgot his name, I'm sorry, but he's a motivational speaker and he's from England. He's from London, but he's like Middle Eastern, like born in England. And he was
Uh-huh.
saying that every time he comes to the States and he does when he does like his tours, the
Mhm.
first thing that happens to him is he starts getting a lot of inflammation because of the what he eats here. And he says he never has inflammation in London because the foods that we eat here are so filled with pesticides and chemicals,
Yeah.
and they're inflammation causing foods. And
Yeah.
he says that's the first thing he notices when he's here, and that's why we have chronic diseases or I
Foods.
mean, one of the first things that people need to learn and get rid of immediately is seed oils. are so, so bad for you.
Yeah.
Remember you told me
Um,
that.
yes, anything seed oil is so bad for you. And here, everywhere you go, everything's cooked with seed oil, with vegetable oil. And so I try to cook with grass-fed butter, 100% organic, what is it, olive oil. And I get that
Oh,
one at Costco, the one that's 100%
oh
made
yeah.
imported in Italy.
Yes.
um Avocado oil or coconut oil. But yes, I stay away from vegetable oil. And I noticed that when I quit, it's been about a year and a half that I quit. I mean, once in a while I'll have it, like when I go to a restaurant, I'm pretty sure they're cooking with vegetable oil.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed is I no longer have ankle pain. My joints aren't hurting no more. I don't get headaches no more. And so I do notice a difference in that area. So
Yeah.
if you go to Europe, you will feel that, you'll see the difference. People over there are able to eat carbohydrates. I do keto here because I
Mhm.
have no choice, because everything, all the stuff they have, like
Right.
all the wheat and all that is filled with like GMOs, which
Yeah.
causes inflammation, which causes insulin resistance, which causes you to gain weight. You go to
Yeah.
Europe and you have bread, and people don't
Yeah.
gain weight like they do here.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
So
right?
yeah,
I've
so
noticed
that's
that.
why I listen to Kennedy. I mean, everything Kennedy was saying is like, oh, oh my gosh, music to my ears, you know? Um, and yeah, so there is a thing about that. You go to other countries and foods, certain ingredients are completely banned in
Yeah.
other
Now,
countries.
for example, even in Mexico, I noticed that a lot of channels that I watch, where there's shopping that's done, there's warning labels like on certain foods, like warning high fat content, warning
Yeah.
high sugar content, um, in like bold writing on the back of the boxes. There's a couple ladies I follow that are down there, and they were born in the U.S., but they, have relocated with their loved ones, and they were pointing out, like, wow, look at this label. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
basically telling you, hey, if you buy this, warning, this is like not good for you. So that was interesting to see those kind of things as well.
No. Yeah. You know what? I gave an avocado one time to a friend of mine. It was one avocado. It was pretty big, and I gave it to him. A couple days later, he says, "Hey, man," he goes, "Where did you get that avocado at?" I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Dude," he goes, "I ate it." He goes, and it was just, he goes, "It was really, really good, dude. Where did you get that at?" Well, I have a tree. I have a tree. And he
Yeah.
was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah." He
Hey,
goes, "Dude,
so you have a tree? You have a tree at your house?
yeah, an avocado tree."
I'm gonna go to your house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to your house.
We got,
Woo.
yeah, no. And he was like, "Dude," he goes, "I haven't tasted an avocado right there in a long time, you know." And I was like, "Yeah, man, it's just different. It's different, you know. We don't spray it with no pesticide, nothing."
Right.
I mean,
Right.
and I'll be honest, I'm right now due to to my condition, I've never even watered it, to be honest with you, and it gives fruit every
Okay.
year. It gives fruit, and they're kind of right now they're you know they're starting to come out. You know,
Okay. That's amazing.
Avocados are so good for you.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
they
Healthy
yeah,
taste
fat.
it's the
amazing.
good fats. You know,
Yeah.
They're so
yeah,
good for you. They're rich in protein, fiber,
yeah,
and great fats. And that's one of the things I eat all the time. I eat avocado.
yeah. No, I'll
Yes.
let you know once they're ready, man. It's just, man, they are like just a whole different thing.
Jen and I
One
will go visit you. Let's have an avocado salad.
right? One time, this guy pulls up. Right, I got home from work, and he pulls up. Right, and my son or one of my daughters was like, "Hey, Dad, they want you out there." And I was like, "What the heck?" And I looked at the guy, and I was like, "The heck? What do you want with me, dude? Like, I didn't know. I didn't know what was going on." And he says, "Hey, man," he says, "I saw the avocado tree when I was driving in the street." he goes, you think I could get some? I said, yeah. And we have the thing to pick them, you know? And
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, you know, I said, yeah. The guy gave me $10. He goes, here, man, let me go pick some. I said, go for it, dude, go for it. I mean, they're all over we can't eat all of them, you know?
Oh, wow.
I said, yeah,
Well,
go
because
for it, dude.
avocados are very
Yeah,
expensive
pull up on
too.
you,
They're
sir.
very expensive.
Yes, they are.
Yes, yes.
They
Like
Yeah,
a
no,
are.
nice round one is like $3, and that's on sale. $3.
yeah,
For one.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Well, we
My
were
I just
making guacamole.
speaking of avocado, I just made a salad yesterday.
Uh-huh.
I made a tuna salad with I bought one large avocado and three
Uh-huh.
cucumbers and red onions, tomatoes, and tuna, and just added a bunch of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, and my
Um,
salt and pepper. It was so good.
Damn.
It was
So
so good. Avocados are just delicious.
all the vegetables that you add that you put together, is that what a salad is? Because what
Yeah,
is that?
I
Oh,
added,
no,
oh,
I'm
and I
kidding. I'm
added
kidding.
cilantro.
I'm,
So I added cilantro, cucumbers, tomatoes, red onions, and
okay.
avocado. And I
Uh-huh.
added tuna
Yeah.
and a lot of lemon juice.
Yeah.
I avoid mayo because mayo is also made, supposed to be made with eggs, but they add a lot of vegetable oil. I
Yes.
found out like months ago, so I don't eat mayo no more. They do
Uh-huh.
have a mayo that they sell at Walmart, but it's very expensive. It's almost $10 for a small little jar, and
Yeah.
that one's not made with vegetable oil. It's made with like the good oils.
Yeah.
So you know how it is. If it's healthy, it's gonna be expensive. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just choose
Sorry,
not to cook with mayo at all, so I just
I,
don't
I,
use mayo.
I was trying to make a
But I
joke
made it
that
with lemon juice, a lot of lemon juice, salt and pepper.
uh,
So good.
hmm.
Oh,
I
that
was just trying
sounds
to make a joke, like I didn't know what salad was. I mean, I'm just kidding. It's just a joke.
No,
But,
I know you were joking, but I'm letting you know
yeah.
everything I added was so
No, yeah,
delicious.
I'm gonna do that though. I'm gonna do that because yeah, no, yeah, trust me. You know,
Tomatoes.
a lot of people freak out. They're like, "Hey, man, you should eat more vegetable." I it was not hard to tell. Yeah, vegetables, lettuce, tomatoes, stuff, everything. Yeah, I don't, I could consume all of that. I'm not the anti salad kind of guy, you know. So yeah, no, definitely. When I lost a lot of weight at one point, that's what I was doing. Salad, the tuna fish and water, drain it, and then make with salad and stuff. It's awesome.
Mm.
It's awesome.
Especially with this heat, salads are so good.
Yeah,
yes,
no, yeah, definitely.
refreshing for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know
For
what?
sure.
Going off, I don't mean to stop here, but have you guys ever tried actual tuna fish? Not in a can.
Yes.
Okay,
Have I tried
it's
the
a bit different.
fresh tuna?
Yes,
Yes.
it's a huge
Nothing beats
difference.
fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a very
I thought I was eating beef.
different, right?
Hey, I'm reading
Yeah.
a comment. It says they say Biden is really AI.
Well, you know,
I really
True.
believe the Biden that's whatever Biden that's come out lately. And like speaking of Biden, like where is he at, right? Like, have you guys noticed ever since he passed the torch, he's hardly ever out, right?
yeah,
But I don't think it's the same Biden that was in office during Obama's years. It's
yeah,
not. I mean, look at the guy. And you know where you could really tell? You could really tell in the ears. Like the ears are completely different.
yeah.
It's a different guy. So I mean, call me whatever you want to call me, conspiracy, but prove me wrong. Like put those
Now,
pictures side to side. It's not the
right.
same Biden.
So when you
So
say
people are
that,
saying AI. I don't know about AI, but I know it's a different. It's not the same Biden.
when you say it's a different guy, you really mean it's a different
Oh, it's a
guy.
different guy.
Oh,
Like
completely
if I
different.
have a picture, the one that was how was like what 8 years ago that Obama was still president. Was that like 8 years ago, right? So if you
Yeah,
compare that Biden,
yeah.
Vice President Biden to this
Probably
Biden,
put some. Yeah,
completely different guy.
Wow.
And it's not age. It's not age. Like there's features that are different, and it's just I don't know. It's weird, but I don't think it's the same guy.
I had
They've
somebody
changed him.
mention that same thing to me earlier on a phone call, and I was like, I don't know. She was saying, I just watched this TV show, this program, and it was showing a picture next to another picture to another picture. She's convinced of the very same thing you just said.
I'm
So
convinced too.
Yeah,
I'm
I
convinced.
I saw
here's
that.
I follow this guy. He's like a he that guy is something. He's not for normies. Normies may not see him. It's people that are have digged in and people that have like people that are very open-minded. And he said something like he really believes in cloning, like how they clone people. Like they'll just like, I mean, you guys seen on YouTube, they've shared videos where they're actually putting on a mask and you'll look almost identical to a person, right?
Yeah.
um so I was watching this guy and he said something about they've changed Biden throughout. It's not just one time, they've changed them quite a few times. And he was hilarious because he said they keep effing him up. Like he just it gets worse, they keep effing him up. Like, and I was
Yeah.
just laughing. He goes, I don't know, are we like in the fifth Biden now? Like he goes, they keep effing it. It was hilarious, but
Babies. And well, you know what? When you look at stuff like the movie Alien, the original Alien, and the I think it was the third one or the second one, where they have the AI person, and you can't even tell. You can't even tell that. I know it's a movie, you know,
mhm.
but he was actually a robot, you know. And it's happening now in real life. You know, it's happening now. I believe it's
Well, yeah,
excuse me.
with AI,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Like all this
happening now
stuff
in
going
real
on.
life. Um, it's just kind of weird now to see again. Like I've said before, when we watch movies now, they don't seem far fetched. You know,
Right, like when you watch the Terminator. If I watch
yeah,
the Terminator now, I'm like, like when it first came out, like you said, it was like just super science,
yeah,
fiction, right? But now you're
yeah.
like, wait a minute.
yeah. No,
Right.
it's
Back then we used to be like, yeah, right. That's so crazy. Or you know what I mean?
yeah,
Laughing. And
and and
now you wonder.
and that's how they disregard everything because we start to call it out. That he's crazy. That's you just don't worry about it. But I was going to say something because somebody said something right now in the comments that they're putting hormones and stuff in the food, right?
Yeah. To
I was going to
sugar.
mention this. Um, if you look at kids now, the boys and girls are developing a lot earlier now in life.
Yes.
At a very young age. And then also too, what I've noticed too, I see people who are maybe 29, 30 years old with gray hair. And I'm like, what the heck? At 30, and it's like, or 30, haven't even hit 40 yet, and they already have gray hair. And I'm like, I don't
So
remember
what's
anybody
wrong
having
with you?
gray hair like in their, in their, that early in age, you know.
Yeah.
And that's not knocking anybody for it. I mean, it's a part of life. It happens, but it just seems everything seems to be the development is a lot faster, the aging is a lot faster, and I believe that it is in the food. It is in the food. It's getting rid of us faster too because we get like you guys mentioned we get sick a lot faster. You know, just everything in general. It's kind of
Well, the foods are rich in hormones right now, right?
yeah,
Everybody has high estrogen levels. Like,
yeah,
because I don't know if you know this, soy
oh
is
yeah,
a testosterone killer.
yes, yeah.
So and it raises your it raises the estrogen in guys.
Mhm.
Um
They're,
okay, I'm reading. He
they're
should.
taking away our masculinity.
So,
Yeah, they're taking exactly the
Yeah.
masculinity. So
Yeah,
Yeah, people have to be careful with that. Like you've seen a lot of men with boobs now, like
Yeah.
very like, you know, um
yeah,
My
yeah,
daughter-in-law was
and
telling me
that's thanks to the
that.
food, like all the stuff that's in there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
My daughter-in-law was saying something about that because she was saying she would not use soy formula because I guess soy has something. This I don't know much about it, but she was trying to school me on it. That soy has some kind of hormone in it that was supposedly making male babies develop more breast tissue than is normal or something. Um,
yeah,
wow, you
Soy's
something to
doing that, right? Mm-hmm.
yeah, baby
yeah.
vision for you.
You know what?
Yeah, so
Somebody said they don't believe everything is a conspiracy. I agree with that. Not everything is conspiracy. Some things just happen. But facts are food does not taste the same. That's a fact. That's
yeah,
a fact. That is a straight up fact. Um, is there a reason why? Because they're trying to make it more healthier, but at the end of the day, I think it's worsening it.
mhm.
So yeah,
They're not trying to make it healthier.
no, no,
I
no.
do not believe the FDA, the food industry, they're not. They put additives in there. They want us to be addicted. And the pharmaceutical and the FDA, they go hand in hand. Pharmaceutical
Yeah,
industry want us on drugs. They want you to be lifelong, drug dependent. They
yeah,
don't want us healthy.
right.
And
Well,
everything goes in hand. That goes with government too.
Yeah,
yeah,
Everything, you know. So,
yeah.
yeah,
I do.
and am I conspiracy? I would say I just absolutely question everything. Everything.
yeah, yeah,
Everything I question it. I just can't. I don't believe things just the first time. I have to research it. And even when I research, I find out sometimes I'm wrong, but everything out there, like with anything that has a lot of propaganda, anything that they keep repeating, I think when I my gut just tells me it's a lie and I research it and most of the time it is.
yeah, yeah,
And you've said before, I've heard you say before that you recommend everyone to do their research.
Absolutely, absolutely, and question and be okay with like coming to a place where everything you were ever told was a lie, a program.
yeah,
Until you get to that place of being okay with that, you're always going to be a sheep. You're going to follow the narratives, so that's what I tell everybody: question and follow your gut, like just get into your gut. But again, in order to get there, I think the way to get there is through prayer. The way to
yeah,
get there is to get off yourself, stop being in yourself. Like, I still know a lot of people that are so arrogant that like, no, I'm not wrong. And I'm like, okay,
yeah, yeah,
get off yourself, prayer, stay away from processed food, and stay away from the program, the TV, what they're telling you, that what they're repeating over and over and over. Just get out of there and just start questioning, thinking, and paying attention, and maybe that'll like open your eyes.
It's a natural thing though with television, even YouTube for that matter. In all the places
I mean, listen to the
with
word
ads.
television.
Yeah,
Tell
a
a
vision.
vision.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God,
They put it out
It-
there,
it-
television.
you
that's
know,
crazy.
how many times do you see something like an advertisement and you kind of ignore it? See it again, you kind of ignore it. See it a couple more times, you keep ignoring it until after a while you're like, what? Let me check this out. You should go, oh wow, and then you kind of just taken in by it now. It kind of you now you're convinced. It's like if uh if all of a sudden the and I'll just say it, if the whole music industry, whatever, just came out and said, you know what, Fred's album is the best album that's out right now, and it's been the best album since 1990, whatever. And even though it may not be, people will believe it. People will believe it because they're feeding that to you. And that's what they do. It's part of marketing, I guess. But they feed it to you. I think I know of some people who feel that marketing is the key. But I mean, to me, the way I tend to look at it, if it's I don't care how you market it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. You could wrap it up in a candy wrapper, and it's still crap to me. You
Yeah,
could put sugar on top. You could put whatever you want on it. You could change the label on it. It's still not good. That's just how it goes. And people believe like, oh no, marketing works. It's like, well, not
yeah,
really. Not really. You know.
right.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I agree. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Winding down for the evening, but this was a very incisive show. I think a lot happened over the last week. A lot that I just didn't have a lot of time to dive into, but I'm going to finish for one watching that speech that you said Robert F. Kennedy gave because halfway through, very very interesting, and
Hmm.
I want to hear the rest of it and see what happens with the news that has come out and what we've got going on for next week. We'll have new topics and whatever comes out or comes to light and happens, we will talk
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
next Tuesday.
definitely,
Yeah. So, what do
definitely.
you have going on this week, Christine? Anything new or exciting coming up?
No, nothing I could think of. I think it's a normal week for me. I just gotta finish up with some client work. Um, yeah, I'm about to announce my Christmas mini sessions. So I love doing those because it's fun. I love Christmas. So I'm gonna announce that, and I start booking all of that for the month of November.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, nothing interesting. No, I'm just kind of taking it easy.
Yeah, I
And
can't
you?
wait to many sessions. Well, I do have I did an interview on Saturday, so I got to edit that down for them. It was almost 2 hours, so I'm excited to get that edited down, and then I'll go ahead and announce who it is and put it out for people. I haven't done a pre-recorded interview for a couple months now, so that will be nice. I always find it so strange to watch myself back and hear my own voice and edit that it drives me crazy. But
Really?
yes, I would much rather edit someone else's stuff, but to watch myself, I hate it. But I'm gonna do it, so I'll have that out soon. Hello, Darlene. And what do you have going on, Fred? Anything this week?
You know what? It's the same old song at Fred's place. Um, pretty much laying back. Uh, due to what was and believe me, it's nothing terminal. It's nothing that serious. It's serious, but not life and death kind of deal. So I got to take it a little extra easy now with what they found. So but fortunately, it can be fixed. So I'm working towards that, and yeah, that's really it. I mean, yeah, I'll be putting out some content actually at the end of the week. I'm thinking of changing a couple of things on my channel, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty laid back. I also wanted to mention though that I think I speak for everybody on this. We continue to send our prayers to Denise and her family,
Yes.
Yes.
and House
Also,
of Tattoos as well. Um,
yes, Jojo
send
as well.
them everything. Yeah. So yeah, no, love and respect to them, and yeah, that's really that's really it. Sorry guys.
Yes. Yeah, much love to them. Continued prayers to the entire
To
family, to
Denise.
the
Mhm.
Jojo family. So
No, yeah,
thank you so
definitely.
much again, my dear friend Christine.
Oh
Amina,
yeah.
thank you
Thank
for having
you. Thank you for
me.
inviting me.
Fred, yes, thank you
Oh
again.
yeah.
And we will get
Thank
together
you.
and see you guys all next week. New topics, and you never know who you might see. So till then, much love, and we'll talk to
All
you guys
right.
soon.
God
Bye.
bless. Good night, everyone. Good
Good night,
night.
everybody.
Take care.